But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get this underway. I'll tell you about the format once we get started. We're going to get these folks counted down. Here we go. Faster Masters round 1, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So the format here is Faster Masters, and what that means is players are using a special mode which enables them to start on level 19 and to increment the level every 10 lines. Now, a typical 19 start, you would just be stuck in 19 for 140 lines until you get to level 29, and then it starts going up. But here we have a special tournament mode which allows us to, or trainer mode that allows us to increment the level every 10 lines. So there you see Fractal has gone on to level 20 already. So there'll be 100 lines of level 19 speed, then they'll get into 29, there'll be 100 lines of that, and then we have a 2x super kill screen implemented at level 39. So these games go very, very quickly. And, it's just kind of a fun mode to do here in October. Of course, CTWC was the big primary event, which was an amazing event. I was there, and DanV was there, and really everybody you're seeing or hearing right now was at that event. It was a super amazing time, as it always is. Fractal here, 160 here on level 22, DanV 124. And by the way, no same piece sets in this mode. Currently, the tournament cartridge does not support same piece sets in this mode, so we're not going to do it. Now, I've talked to the developer, and seems eager to add same piece sets across all the different tournament and trainer modes. So that is something we may do, or definitely will do down the line. So thanks so much to Kuryava for being so open and being wonderful. And I met Kuryava at CTWC, so that was a good experience. 272 here for Dan, back into the lead at 54 lines. 262 for Fractal. Is there no level 19? Well, we're on level 9. We started on level 19, so that was just 10 lines, and then it went immediately into level 20. 355 here for Fractal. DanV going to get a Tetris 367. It appears that DanV has a very slight lead in score and pace. Fractal going to get a slightly dirty Tetris into level 26. Just 11,000 points and one line separating these two players. And I think this is probably one of DanV's favorite modes. DanV, not always a fan of level 18, but seems to do very well on 19 and 29. So did win this event back in May. And you're gonna see players trying to squeeze a lot of efficiency into this mode, because you've really only got 200 lines and then whatever you can muster post 39. So players often will be much more aggressive here on 19 than you would otherwise see, because there's just not a lot of time to score. And yeah, not having same piece sets, I think, makes this a little bit unfair, because players can get RNG'd, but it is just a kind of fun mode here. DanV into 29 at 555, going to get a Tetris here on 29. Fractal long bar down Tetris 630 into 29 for Fractal. So Fractal has the lead. DanV going to need something for that right side, and is going to get that J over. So yeah, there's a little bit of an unfair mode, but there's really nothing we can do so long as we want to do this mode. But eventually we will have same piece sets for Faster Masters 3, The Reckoning, or whatever. 748 here for Fractal on level 31, 623 for Dan. So Fractal really just being super, as Game Scout says, locked in. And really Fractal, fresh off a victory in CTWC. DanV trying to set up for that center well Tetris, but long bars are ill-timed, and that L piece does not get to the left. That's going to be a top out. DanV Fractal going to take game number 1. GG's players. If you want to, players want to get one mullen, I'm okay with that. This is probably not a game that will lead to much, but if you want to take one good mullen, that's fine. Pick your spots. This is a very early Faster Masters max out. So yeah, there is a max out here on 35 for Fractal, which is exciting. Actually, seeing a max out in Faster Masters. Here's a 1.1. And just going for it. There's a 1.1. What is the Faster Masters record? I probably should have done some research. But oh, this is probably... Oh, look at that line spin down the bottom. Amazing. But anyway, huge 1.1 score for Fractal. Trying to double DanV's score, but... This is what Tetris in 2027 will look like. I know, that line spin was crazy. Oh, by the way, thanks for the raid, LOL Pog series. Didn't see you there. All right, as soon as players are ready. Thanks, Game Scout. Is going to check the Faster Masters record. Game number 2, Fractal and DanV. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. We fast. That's right, Throwing Thesis. Welcome. Harold, by the way, thanks 7 minutes ago for the 3, 2, 1 countdown bits. Really appreciate that. Any bits and subs you can throw our way really are going to be... Maybe we're kind of an optional, fun, free thing, but at some point soon we're gonna have to start. I don't know. We're gonna have to. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna have to do. I gotta figure things out because, well, CTM gonna be my primary gig for a while, and I can't continue to subsidize it. Fractal in trouble. Gotta get a long bar down. And gonna bring this stack down here at level 20. DanV center for a dirty center while Tetris and gets it. 3, 2, 1 countdown bits. Game Scout says the Faster Masters record is 1.2, just over 1.2 by Eric ICX in May. So there you go. Anpu asking some very difficult questions. $71,000 here for Fractal. DanV gonna get a Tetris. What's going on, Vandy, leaving your job? Well, yeah, I did leave my job, actually. Just before CTWC, my last day was on basically day 1 of CTWC setup. So we're going to go ahead and try to see what we can do in the next year or so to blow up CTM. And, you know, try to level up a bit. So really anything you guys can do to help. But, you know, we will also try to get sponsors. It's not always up to you. You guys do plenty, believe me. But if you're looking to be a sponsor, I'll let you know, get in touch. 198 for Fractal, 224 DanV. Yes, we're going to blow up CTM. Right, we're going to blow it up. Gone. All just to smithereens. 255 here for DanV, 232 for Fractal. Fractal, nice dirty Tetris there in column 10. DanV with a good looking clean board gets a Tetris, 351. Yeah, I would not think that Faster Masters would count toward normal statistics. I think it's its own rule set. Anything we could do to complicate Game Scout's life here is what we're trying to do. So we'll just try to come up with all kinds of formats and just let the statisticians deal with it. 428 DanV, 375 for Fractal into level 28, just 10 lines away from the level 29 transition where the speed will increase by 2 times. So if we're going 75 miles an hour now, soon we're going to be going 150 miles an hour. 504 DanV, awkward board, left side needs something, gets the J piece over, still needs something. 515, okay, 482 Fractal into 29. Gonna get a sting in it. He's gonna sting in a Tetris at 519. DanV still trying to work this stack down a bit. Fractal clean, but gonna have to take a triple down that right side for safety. DanV's board looking all kinds of messed up, but still dealing with it. That left side is going to be tough, kind of sliding a square over there just to get material, but board starting to climb. That left side for Dan is going to be top out city. Fractal takes game number 2. GG's. Yeah, no, Jonas did quit job to do full-time Twitch streaming. He worked at a brewery. All right, players are ready for game number 3. So let's get them started. Fractal up 2-0. Alex T awaits. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Fractal starting out already with a spire there in columns 7 and 8. So waiting out this bar. And again, players are not getting same piece sets. We don't have the ability to do that right now. Mode doesn't allow it, but hopefully in time. Fractal setting up some tucks there with that T-piece. And both players on their way with the same score and the same lines. Three, 2, 1 countdown bits from Harold again. Thank you so much, Harold. I think Harold is probably the most referred to player on YouTube, so probably YouTube famous for being the 3, 2, 1 countdown bits guy. Super close right now. DanV trying to skim away the ceiling over the well and does so. Long bar down Tetris Fractal at 182. And DanV waiting out the bar. It was a tricky mode. You've got to take into account that you don't get same piece sets, so you're not going to get the same drought. So you might potentially get unfairly RNG'd, but on the other hand, you need efficiency. So kind of a balancing act you've got to do. I'm sure both these players have got out their calculators and they know the whole optimal game theoretical strategy, whatever. I don't know anything about that. Tetris down for DanV, 269. Hey now, 271. Fractal, super close. Long bar down, Tetris, DanV, 330. I don't know. Somebody was trying to persuade me to do some max out attempts here on Monthly Tetris right after Faster Masters, and I could be persuaded to do that, except I really do have to go to Costco. Like, I have some urgent needs at Costco. But maybe I'll do something tonight. I was thinking about, maybe since we are toward the end of the month, I was thinking about just ad hoc doing a qualifying showcase and see if any players who haven't done qualifiers for CTM might want to do a co-stream with their qualifiers. So if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know in the Vandy channel. Maybe we'll do it on Sunday or something like that, and we can do our last-minute qualifiers here on Monthly Tetris. That would be fun. 446 here for Fractal, 531 for DanV. Putting in my first qualifier in a while. Ivan with the 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown bits. I don't know what those bits are, but thank you so much for the bits. Paravex says, Vandy, just Instacart your meat and cheese. All right, we're into level 29, 587 for Fractal and 648 for DanV. I don't know exactly the statistics on there, but the transition scores going into 19 to 29 in this format are roughly comparable. So these are very good transition scores, roughly comparable to, standard, 18 into 19 transition scores. Not exactly. Maybe there's a little bit, maybe 10% or something more potential. I'm not exactly sure. Somebody should do the math on that. And DanV in trouble here on 29, and we'll top out, and Fractal is good for the sweep. Fractal, if you want to go ahead and mullen this out, we will accept a mullen from our CTWC World Champion. DanV, you are out. So our reigning Faster Masters Champion is out in round 1. Pretty tough draw to get the CTWC World Champion. We'll follow along with Fractal. Didn't even play that bad. I mean, I don't know. You topped out on 31, bro. So. All right, DanV gonna get to work editing. Yeah, get to work, Dan. You don't have time to play Tetris. Fucking get in there and edit. Did I just halfway say the F word? Oh my God. I've been swearing a lot more in my life. There's a YouTuber that I watch that swears a lot. And so I've been swearing a lot more. So here comes Fractal going for back-to-back max outs in this format. The Faster Masters record 1.21 by Eric ICX, your 2022 CTWC World Champion. Fractal trying to set up here, and probably will have to at some point try to set up for 2 Tetrises maybe down the middle, and yeah, well, he can't really. So he's just going to get the Tetris. There's the max out for Fractal. 29, trying to get some points and cannot. 202 lines and the max out for Fractal. Amazing. So Fractal, you stay right there. You are going to go play Alex T.
Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. Join our Discord server, the largest classic Tetris community online, at ctm.gg/discord, and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.